And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. It is another fresh week of shows here on the show presented by our friends at Bangtail Whiskey. You know us, we like to drink here on the show. So Bangtail Whiskey, bangtail.com, or you can check them out at easyliquor.com to get that bottle sent directly to your door. Also, our newest sponsor, Gentle Ben Spirits out there, vodka, gin, and bourbon. I mentioned we drink out there, raise that glass with a group of friends and make it the best out there with Gentle Ben Spirits. And, of course, check out our friends at Honky Tonk Texas, honkytonktexas.us. Our good friend Josh Ward will be out there performing this Saturday night, having a big crowd out there to dine, drink, and have a big old dance floor. And it's a party. And it's a party here today on the Backstage Pass. He's pleased to welcome in one of our show favorites. She's got a brand new EP out there called On the Edge. She's ready to get out there and perform these songs. Our show favorite, Stephanie Quayle, here on the show. What's going on, my friend?
Hi, this is great. I'm coming to you from Montana right now. Isn't that so cool?
I love that. It's the beauty of this digital technology wave we're in now, right?
I love technology. It blows my mind every day. I don't know why I'm surprised, but it's always surprising to me. It's very cool.
Well,
How
first,
are you?
tell me before I'm doing good. It's busy. I'm getting ready for CRS, the Country Radio Seminar in Nashville for March. We're going to be there and broadcasting live from March 13 to 15 at the Omni, and sponsors excited. I'm excited. Can't wait to see what great talent comes there to talk to us about the great things in music. Hey, for you, I got to ask before we start diving into music and you playing some songs for us here on the show. Talk to me about how the holidays were. How was Christmas?
Christmas was amazing. We were home in Montana, which is, the one time we can kind of just peace out for a minute. And I was here with my husband and my stepkids, and we just had more fun than we should be allowed to have. We had a great time. It was a wonderful holiday, and it wasn't that we did so many things. It was just that we got to be together. And I think it's just really special. My stepdaughter came home from Madrid where she's been studying, and my stepson just got engaged. So it was just a lot of love.
What was your best Christmas gift for Stephanie? What was it?
Oh man, good question. My best Christmas gift was a card from my husband and what he said inside.
Awesome. We'll leave it at that, no doubt. I can imagine it was great comments and what he said inside.
Yes. He has a way with his words.
I bet so. Just the way I do with my wife, too, at the same time. Yeah, and our little girl's getting to be now almost 3 years old this April. Cannot believe it's time
already?
Just flew by. Yeah.
That happens fast, doesn't it?
It does. She'll be in kindergarten in another year and a half, and I'll be going, off to high school. And yeah, what's funny is I got to tell you this story. She's already got a little crush on a little boy at a daycare. Yeah,
it happens.
What can I say? It's just part of it.
I mean, I might have been under the influence of some crushes myself at a tiny age.
We all did. I'm sure we all did back then. Hey, tell me about this. You guys have been riding this since November. I love this EP. It's fantastic. It's called On the Edge, which is out there across all the digital platforms wherever you guys download or stream music. A lot of work went into it. Some amazing songs we're going to get into today and talk a lot about. And just really take me through just kind of the nuts and bolts and really the heart of this EP.
Absolutely. Well, I think On the Edge, the title of the album, is really about, confronting yourself, right? And confronting those truths. That's what it is for me. I never thought I would get to share this story, let alone share it through my songs and my music. And to be able to reconcile a time in my life through songwriting and really go to those places has just been incredibly healing for myself. And the coolest part and the beauty in kind of the breakdown of it all is, for the listeners to be able to connect in those songs and find their stories in those songs, because it's such a specific story to me, having, a boyfriend that dies in a plane crash and 5 days later you discover that you weren't the only one. That's a lot to put into 8 songs. And so for others to relate to different parts of the music like they have, I feel like it's on purpose, and that, that fulfills, my songwriting soul in a way that, music is just extremely healing. So I'm getting to live this in real time in the wildest ways. And it's very special.
Yeah, y'all did that in setting the tone with the album. I always look at the song that really sets the tone for a record, and I love the music video that you guys did with it for the Lost Years. Tell us all about this one and how this came about and the kind of the backstory.
Sure. So this is actually the first song that Tori Touye, my co-writer and collaborator on the album, we wrote together here in Montana. I'm actually I can see exactly where we were when we wrote this. So when I started, putting lists together of different song ideas, and that very much spoke to me the lost years, because for such a long time, Brandon, I wasn't able to share this part of my life. So when people would ask me, well, what happened between this year and this year? I'd be like, oh, stuff. And I didn't go there. I was very protective of that because I was protecting a young girl and his daughter. And now she's a grown young woman and incredible. And I'm able to share that because I got to borrow courage from her. So the lost years is really about this time in my life that, I can't take back what happened. I have learned tremendously from that experience, but I do have regrets, and I'm very honest about that. And this song is, the line that cuts me probably the most is, will I ever be happy again? And in that time, I didn't think I'd ever fall in love. I was sure I would never get married. And I felt very broken, and I felt very ashamed, and I think that, I did a adequate job of hiding behind my smile because, again, I was so protective of that story because it's true. It's real life. They're real people involved. So I wanted to really honor that and protect it. But also now having this body of work, I'm really proud of it because I think it's the truth, and it's just kind of laid out in between melodies and a whole lot of lines.
The song spoke to me, no doubt. It makes you think about the past, but then you kind of say, you're right. Yeah. It's the lost years. You move on. You think about the future and the good things that you do have and you're fortunate enough to have in your life right now. So that's why I think the music video really kind of did justice with what you guys did there on the record too at the same time. Well, I'll tell you what, I got so much more to dive into and talk about off the album. I know one of the songs, Last Breath, we're going to talk about what you're going to perform for us today. Got to take time out, pay some of those bills here on the show. We'll have a little video here. And of course, coming up here this week, don't forget this Friday, a good friend Jacob Bryant, Chris Weaver, putting out a brand new song called Circus that you can get across all the digital platforms. We'll give you a little preview of that. More with Stephanie Quayle here on the Backstage Pass as our countdown to CRS is underway. March 13 to 15, country radio seminar at the Omni Hotel in Nashville. Will be there broadcasting live, all the stuff on Facebook, the website, YouTube, everything out there for us here at the Backstage Pass. More with Stephanie Quayle here, and we'll come back here in just a little bit. Time out for our sponsors. Hang tight.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here on the show again, thanks to our sponsors, presenting sponsors of Country Radio Seminar, March 13 to 15 in Nashville, Tennessee, there at the Omni Hotel in March. Our friends at Bangtail Whiskey, Persado Spirits, and the fine folks at Gentle Ben Spirits, and of course our friends over at Honky Tonk Texas, honkytonktexas.us out there. Appreciate all the work that they do out there. Back here with Stephanie Quayle on the Backstage Pass. On the Edge is the current EP out there. And I tell you what, go ahead and grab that guitar because I love Last Breath, which you're going to play for us here on the show. We'll get to some comments over there from the comment box in just a little bit as we're coming to you live, of course, on the website, the YouTube channel, Stephanie's great socials out there too at the same time. If you got a question, drop it in that box. We'll leave it here. And you just may get on the air. You just never know what is coming up here on the show. My friend, it's all yours. Take it away.
Awesome. So let me know if it gets a little too loud. I packed up your last box of clothes. I made sure your mama got home. It's kind of messed up, everybody knows. But no one will say how long they've known. Was it from the beginning? Was it the whole time? 4 years together. Were you ever mine? Don't know the answer. Guess I gotta guess. What would you tell me if you had the chance? Would you ask for forgiveness? Tell me the truth. Well, look, really, I love you. Would you leave me questioning everything you ever said? It was your last breath. It's been months since I saw your face. All these stories still ain't straight. Yeah, I keep finding pieces, no rhyme or reason. Screaming at the devil, praying to Jesus. Guess I'll never know. Yeah, you took it to your grave. If you knew it was coming, what would you say? Would you ask for forgiveness? Tell me the truth. Oh, look, really, I love you. Would you leave me questioning everything you ever said? If you knew it was your last time to come clean and make things right, make good on the dreams, yeah, you sold me this life. Would you leave me with the same mountain of regret? If you knew it was your last breath. Would you ask for forgiveness? Tell me the truth. Well, look, really, I love you. Would you leave me questioning everything you ever said? Would you ask for forgiveness? Tell me the truth. Well, look, really, I love you. Would you leave me questioning everything you ever said? If you knew it was your last time to come clean and make things right, make good on the dreams, yeah, you sold me this life. Would you leave me with the same mountain of regret? If you knew it was your last breath. Your last breath.
I love every song on that EP. I'm telling you right now, folks. On the Edge is out there across all the digital platforms. Many of you guys chime in the comment box. We'll get to a few there. In fact, I'm going to try to pull up one here on the screen that I like to, who's a great, great friend of the show out there. She tunes in a lot of the broadcasts out there. Kelsey loves stuff.
I love her.
Winnebago, look at that, putting the lyrics up there. And so Worldview, love that one too as well. Sally and Christina, she loves that music video. She's right there with me for the lost years so much. And Just great. So keep them coming. We'll get to as many as we can here. Hey, talk to me about Fiction, because I really think that told a great story on there, and I'm sure that it has to be great to sing. And you guys hopefully be playing that one, I'm sure, live out there as part of the set coming up real soon with the live shows back and everything. Talk to me about Fiction.
Yeah, I love playing this song live because we've coined it an upper, downer, upper, because it's such a bop, and it's got such energy, but the lyrics are extremely, well, honest. Exactly. Everyone was wearing black dresses. I just thought he had a lot of exes. I mean, we come out the gate pretty to the point. And that one is really, there's so much more to the story. And I'm still, it's been 14 years as of Saturday, and I'm still discovering things. And so I think that it's really just, just when you think it couldn't get stranger, it does.
It does. It's and also too, I'll tell you another one that really struck me out there too. When you look at lyrics and kind of where these came from, "Charmed" is one of those songs that really struck my attention too, which is still just a great song off of there too. But really, a lot of people could resonate with that one too.
Yeah, the fact that we were able to put hook, line, and sinker like a trout in the Yellowstone is probably one of my favorite lines, of course, being a Montana kid. And also just the fact that I think a lot of times we as people that are, looking for love and trying to find our person, we believe the best. I wanted to believe the best in him. And, that didn't make me an idiot. It didn't make me dumb. It's just someone that saw the good and the potential over what was really going on. And so I think this is one of those songs that's kind of, I'm hearing more and more about it, which is, I think there are more hearts that relate to being, tricked, we'll say, than not.
Charmed, as we put it there, the song title, no doubt. Yeah, tricked and charmed. And
well, there's another word too, but, we're a family show here.
We're a family show, no doubt about it. I want to go back a little bit, and we'll get back to On the Edge here in a little bit. But going back to your self-titled one, because you mentioned you guys did put out 2 albums there last year too when it came out. Your self-titled one, "Hang My Hat," which was another, just that comes down to a great country song, and there's a great country song out there that really captivates people. This one, no doubt, did it for me too. Let's get that story on "Hang My Hat" too. I love that song.
Well, I mean, talk about my co-writers who are just tremendous humans. Tori Touye and I have been writing together for years. She co-wrote the entire On the Edge album. She wrote "Selfish" with myself and Andy. She wrote "Evil Knievel" with me and Karen Kazowski, and that's who we wrote "Hang My Hat" with. And she had the title, and she held on to it, and she goes, "This is a Quayle song. This is a Quayle. I feel like this is a Quayle." And as soon as I heard it, we just, the beauty is I'm living what I write, and I write what I live. And so, I have that in my husband, and he, being able to hang my hat on that is pretty special.
I love that too. And there's other ones off of there too that really, I mean, again, just great country music. And you mentioned co-writers and how important they are out there to help really kind of put together and massage that record, if you will. "Wild Frontier" stuck out to me as well.
Oh man, I mean, well, that was one of the songs that when we heard that, so that's a Maren Morris tune. When we heard it, I was like, can we take a chance at maybe they'll let us, record this song, and such a special song. I love that song. And I remember when I was listening to it down the gravel road, just becoming obsessed with it, like right here in Montana, and just so honored that they would, allow an independent artist to sing such a big song and, be able to do such cool stuff with it. That song has, it's been doing some really special things. So I hope they're enjoying the royalties.
That's usually put together a great record, and songwriters to enjoy, and co-writers the royalties out there too. This was just a beautiful song, and I'm going to just really talk about this one off the record. "I Want the World for You," and that really made me think about a lot of things, think about the past, think about the future, think about where somebody's come from a
Yeah.
backstory. I was talking to some friends about this one just last week, and even over the holidays. Just
Yeah.
a beautiful song, Stephanie, really beautiful.
Oh, I hope you'll play it for your little one.
I have
I
to,
wrote
yes.
it. I wrote it for my stepkids,
Hmm.
just thinking about where they're headed and, take that map and put it on the wall and know my love reaches across it all. I think that's what we want for the ones we love, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
And I think about this a lot with our incredible fan family and how they
Mhm.
have stuck with me through years and years and years, and just this camaraderie of like, we all want the best for each other. And I think that's a really beautiful place. And I think it's the most important place to lead from is really wanting the best for others.
You mentioned something there too about one of my favorite songs, "The Evil Knievel," which was on
Mm,
your "If I Was a Cowboy" EP that you guys
yeah,
put out back in 2019, I believe it was. And
yeah,
that's when we first met you, and you became a huge fan favorite of my show. And I loved everything that you did and that you sang because you spoke from the heart. It was definitely just a true songwriter and a great musician. But I had to get an update on that because that particular EP really did it for me. That was just
yeah.
something. Hear one song, and that one song was "What You Drinking About," and that was just something that really shot up. And I just said,
Yeah,
I think I wore out my phone or whatever I was streaming at the time. I think I
that's
clicked
awesome.
everything from 10 to 15 times. Wife loved the EP, Second Rodeo, and just everything Evil Knievel, If I Was a Cowboy. Tell us how that's done, and just in a matter of the last 2 or 3 years, even I guess pre-COVID, after COVID, even that now it's still one of your most requested listened to EPs and songs off that EP.
Completely. And it was just in the Big Sky TV show, which was
Hmm.
so super cool. What You Drink About was on the show. That's the beauty of making music. And, when they say it all begins with a song, it really does. And same thing with Selfish has been one of those songs, and Drinking with Dolly, these pillars of my career, these song pillars of just, finding ways to get heard, which is really
Hmm.
special. I mean, in 2019, What You Drink About just started charging up the charts and into 2020. And we all were kind of on the edge of our seat going, I think this is going to be
Hmm.
our first top 40, and then obviously
Hmm.
COVID was a little detour
Hmm. Yeah, a
of
little bit.
that. But, that song is just one that it's so much fun to play, so much fun to write. When I look back at the music video, I'm such a visual junkie. I love music videos. That's why we
Hmm.
did the short film that came out today. I just love that visual side of it. So to be able to take the If I Was a Cowboy video and have my husband in the bar and you can't really see him. And then as I'm leaving the bar, he kind of turns to then have What You Drink About, where he's the guy at the bar,
Hmm.
and just have this whole, dialogue with him. He was also free, so that, made it easy to put
Hmm.
him in the video. But yeah, it's really fun to take and look back and take a minute. Like we were talking about, before, just how far and how
Hmm.
much has changed and what stayed the same in really beautiful ways.
Really has, and you've stayed true to yourself as an artist and just true to your music. I love it because you write what you feel and definitely sing what you feel, and it's just it's like a waterfall. It's a beautiful sound when it comes to just wanted to hear it all day long, and everything you sing is so good out there. I'm gonna even back up a little further with this one. Love the Way You See Me,
Oh
which you
yeah.
guys put a lot of work into as well, because I know everything you've done and I've memorized a lot of things. But the one off of there I loved a lot was, and I think we even talked about this last time you came on, but Drinking with Dolly
Yeah.
was fun to do. Tell us about that one a little bit for folks
Oh
that
my
didn't know.
gosh. We were working with Matt McClure on this record, and he had just an acoustic um, work tape from Rachel Proctor and Victoria Banks, who they wrote the song "Drinking with Dolly." And when I heard it, I mean, I think it was within about 10 seconds. I was like, what will it take? How can we get this song? Is it even possible? Because when I heard it, I was like, this is a classic. This song has to be heard. And I think that I'm kind of, that's kind of my makeup. I'm a must. So if it's a must, it's a yes. If it's a no.
Hmm.
There's no room for maybes, as Carly would say,
Hmm.
who I work with. And it was, one of those things. It was such a traditional country song. And we put that out, was that 2015, 16?
Yeah, I want to say that was about that
Yeah.
time. Yeah.
And so, there was some pushback. Going to radio was such a traditional country song. And I just, I said, it's okay. This song has to get heard. And that song then became the gateway to so many opportunities for me, from Dolly hearing it herself, which is like, what? Even saying that out loud seems bananas, to, getting to debut it at the Grand Ole Opry. And having that be a part of my my repertoire and my history in our genre is just, I don't know that I could have, I've been doing music a lot longer and before that song, but for that song to kind of be the first thing that a lot of people learned about me and got to learn about me, like there was no better song, I think, that could have said, hello. Hello.
That's exactly right. Mind-blowing experience too. Sally, we'll put your comment up there because I do love it. And Want the World for You.
Thank
Most
you,
favorite
Sally.
song of Stephanie. So love that one too. Jan is all the way in Australia. She tunes in a lot to the show over there. So check out all these songs. Thanks for, definitely, there you go. See new fans.
Wow.
And
very cool.
Kelsey coming back here. If I Was a Cowboy is a good one too. Love the song. There you go. Like I said, back to it too. You love it's like walking to a restaurant. You love your favorites. You can order what you order every single time instead of trying something new off the menu too. And love that as well. So keep the comments coming. We'll get to as many as we can out there too as well. And I tell you what, I was going to ask you about this. Would you be so kind to play one more for us today? What do you think?
Oh, I would love to. Can I play Lone Ranger?
You can. And I'll tell you, we're going to take a break, come back, and let you do that here on the show so you can prepare for that too. More with Stephanie Quayle here, more music, more comments, more fun as we're counting down to Country Radio Seminar, March 13 to 15 in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee. Hopefully it won't be raining like it was last year when we were there. It'll be a lot more springtime weather, and we'll be there inside the Omni at the media booth. And come on by, say hi to us. It is everybody here. Myself, Kirsty Krause, CJ Garton, and our good friend Merlene Cox will be there. Entire Backstage Pass team. And last year, hell, we hung out with Shenandoah, hung out with Deborah Allen. We also Cooper Allen, Caitlin Smith. You never know who's going to walk through that curtain. Stephanie Quayle, if she's there, she can come hang out with us down there too at the Backstage Pass. Yeah, when I walked in, I had one of those moments of, this is Shenandoah, Mike McGuire, and Marty Raybon. I was like, this is cool. And it was my birthday last year when I got to go. So
it's amazing. Every time I go, I'm kind of like, this is just really happening right in front of our eyes.
Yeah, then I get down to the lobby and I'm like, that's Lainey Wilson standing right there in front of me. I got to say hello. So you just never know who's going to be there inside. And then, of course, you turn my back. I'm walking out the door. Everybody's coming up for valet parking. I think I told you this while Randall King steps in. I'm like, there's the Texas boy. What's up, man? High five. And
hello.
A lot of fun. This cool stuff. You never know. So we're looking forward to that. Hey, if you're going to be there, you come hang out with us down there too as well if you're planning on being there. March 13 to 15. Again, Country Radio Seminar, Nashville's best and brightest out there will be in town with us, doing all kind of promotions, networking with people. It's a fun event. If you've never made it out there, you need to try and do that. Thanks to our sponsors who made it possible. Our friends at Bangtail Whiskey, Gentle Ben Spirits for their vodka gin, their bourbon out there. Guys are removing all the impurities and making this drink so smooth. It's great out there. GentleBen.com, the Houston market, Total Wine, and of course Specs, and they're with the Houston Rockets and of course the Houston Astros in their vicinities now. The drink is fantastic, and our good friends at Honky Tonk, Texas. More with Stephanie Quayle here on the Backstage Pass. Hang tight.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here with Stephanie Quayle on the Backstage Pass. Don't forget that Song Circus is coming out this week on Friday. Jacob Bryant and Chris Weaver. We'll talk to them coming up in the next couple of weeks about that. It's kind of a jam. It's just a little tease right there. That's what I love about music videos.
I felt the same way. Just listening to it, I was like, yes.
I've been humming it in my head. And sometimes I can't fall asleep at night. I'm like, welcome to the circus. And you have that little chorus, that little run. It just rocks. So be on the lookout for that. We'll have Chris and Jacob on the show. Separate shows coming up over the next couple of weeks. Dylan Carmichael in the next couple of weeks. And our good friend Kenzie Coppin coming up tomorrow. So much great talent out there. We just keep it's like fishing. We just keep reeling it in here on the Backstage Pass. If we don't know about it and you want to be on the show, you can contact me. Email address and everything is on social media out there. So this is Lone Ranger. Some people are Sherry saying she loves it. So it is all yours, the fabulous Stephanie Quayle.
I love it. I love it. This one's just so much fun. This is when I get to soft rock out.
Ain't no telling what they'd ever do with me. You brand my heart so good, you ruined me. Your love's like tattoo ink, it ain't coming off of me. And even your memory would get the best of me. Rather be a Lone Ranger, better off being some lonesome sunset chaser. 'Cause there ain't no moving on, rather heartbreak be my friend, and love be a stranger. 'Cause if I have to ride with someone else that's not you, I'd rather be a Lone Ranger. Try to tell me there'd be another you. I hear what you're saying, but I ain't hearing you. With anybody new, I'm never gonna not see you. Love me is all about you. Rather be a Lone Ranger, better off being some lonesome sunset chaser. 'Cause there ain't no moving on, rather heartbreak be my friend, and love be a stranger. 'Cause if I have to ride with someone else that's not you, rather be a Lone Ranger. Rather be a Lone Ranger, better off being some lonesome sunset chaser. 'Cause there ain't no moving on, rather heartbreak be my friend, and love be a stranger. 'Cause if I have to ride with someone else that's not you, I'd rather be a Lone Ranger, rather be a Lone Ranger.
And I was so fortunate to meet this lady back about 2-3 years ago when I started this show, and you can see why. We're making new fans every day here on the Backstage Pass. You can see why I love her music so much, and it's just very authentic and true to its core, and she writes what she feels, she sings what she feels, and it's just so great to have become friends with her over the past few years. And I guarantee you one day I've made bold predictions on this show. You guys know I have. She will be on those main stages of accepting awards from the Academy of Country Music and the Country Music Association. I just know that already for the bold prediction. Well, I saw it too. I made a prediction, had her, early in her career. This is about a couple of years ago before she got hot, Lainey Wilson. And I knew it was just, I made it on this show. So things do It just happens. It does.
Hey,
I'm gonna put it that way.
your words to God's ears, to all the people that do all the things that they do to make all that happen.
No, I'm right there too. And like I said, I'm always going to provide my endorsement for you and put behind the music and do a lot of things, album reviews, share the information out there to get more fans out there to you guys. And definitely, guys, go to the live shows. Look on StephanieQuayle.com. Look out there, and I'm sure there's a live show. Speaking of that too, you guys, you mentioned the Bluebird, and I know the calendar's got to be filling up again with shows and venues and things out there. Share with some people out there. I know, like I said, the website is a good place to go, but I know you're excited to be back on stage now that things are really kind of over the normal process.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. We have a lot of stuff coming up. We're about to announce later this week some upcoming shows. So stay tuned to all things StephanieQuayle.com because they're not letting me say anything yet, but we're getting there, which is, I can't wait. We're doing some things that I've never done before from some of the shows coming up. So I love the challenge of, I think as in music and as a performer and artist, I always want to be, stretching myself to the limit to see how far I can go and what I can do. So this is going to be a really exciting year of live music for sure.
I'm looking forward to it. No doubt about that. I want to go back to Love the Way You See Me because there's one off of there. I'm not sure if I asked about before, and I always say, I've slept since then. So if I did ask about it, I'm going to ask it again because it's my show and I can do whatever I want to. You don't have to answer anybody. It's a good thing. I'm my own boss with this. I probably didn't ask about it because I know we talked a lot about Drinking with Dolly, but Selfish did a lot of really amazing things off that record for you guys. And then I want to say y'all had put it out as a single, then it was on that record. And then it was it released again in 2018? I want to say, was it a radio edit?
No, it just kept cooking.
It kept cooking. Okay.
That was our first song to chart on the Billboard Country charts. So that song just took off, and it was really driven by the listeners, which was such new territory, to where it's, it was not that it's not always, but sometimes, there's other things that, magnify a different song for whatever reason. And this was, even when TikTok first started, and I had no idea what's a tiki-taki, at the very beginning. Now I'm a little bit more well-versed in the tiki-taki, but at the time, there are people doing versions of Selfish left and right and, singing. I'm like, oh my word. It just, it's been really fun to watch that song, especially just, it just keeps finding places all over the world, that song. I'll be like, wow, okay. Here it is.
It opened a lot of doors, and so congratulations on the Billboard chart topping. Not surprising. There's going to be many more of those songs out there, and I love that record so much. I'll play it every day, and it comes up on the playlist just as much as all the current work is done out there for you guys. All right, so time for a little rapid fire. Got to have a little fun with you. I know for me, this is a cool show I got into, recommended by another artist the other day when it binge watching, and this came to Bryan Cranston and Your Honor. It's on Showtime, and it's really cool. Have you seen?
Oh.
Okay, this is captivating. It really pulls you in. Check that out. But I wanted to get for you, because I'm always learning about this, and I'm always trying out new shows, House of Cards, things like that, Cobra Kai. What have you gotten into, you and your husband, or you by yourself, when it comes to binge watching, I guess, either with the kids or when the kids go to bed, you're like, we're going to do this and watch this as adults?
Yeah, well, Schitt's Creek is like my like that is, I can watch that over and over and over again. And my stepdaughter and I, Sarah and I, we have a lot of and my husband's name's David, so it makes it's just too easy. But I try to watch all the latest, and sometimes I'll get into them, and then other times I'm like, I don't get it. I mean, Cobra Kai, I'm a karate kid, I grew up, in my little Kempo karate. And so, yeah, I love that. And it was so nostalgic. I love the throwback shows for sure.
Yeah, definitely had to go.
Besides Your Honor?
That was the one that came across. House of Cards, they said, was really good. I never really got into it. Of course, I got to see Yellowstone and just sit down and be able to hook it. Just get hooked.
Yellowstone, no question. I'm from the town in which they, share. Paradise Valley is where I live now. So that's, it's all depicted in the show. I really loved 1883. I thought Faith and Tim were tremendous in the storyline. And, it's Sam Elliott. Come on. How can you go wrong with, I am a huge fan of cowboy anything, cowgirl
Uh-huh.
anything. So I just have so much appreciation for Taylor Sheridan. Just get into it. He also has that show. I haven't watched enough of it. My husband really likes it. Is Tulsa King with
I've heard about that. Yes.
Stallone. Yeah,
I need to
yeah.
catch up on some stuff there too. And I'll just say the Your Honor will get you. And then I read the other day where back to your old school Karate Kid, the Cobra Kai series, they're putting out the last series of it for Netflix this year. So it has one more.
I'll be watching.
I'll be watching. Have to reactivate that thing again just for one series, and then I'll tell you, I got hooked on. Yeah, I hate when you have to reactivate it for one series when you're cutting things and you're finding shows on other good stuff that you stream already. But
Sure.
there was one, the Ozarks. Did you watch all of that?
I didn't get into the Ozarks.
See, I was hooked on that. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I have a thing though. I have to really, when I watch because I'm such a visual absorber of information, I have to really time when I watch certain things. Even Yellowstone, if I watch that before I go to bed, I'm then in a Western in my dreams and I'm exhausted by the time I wake up.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I gotta really guard what I watch. Otherwise I have to watch it like in the morning. So I have like all day to let it dissipate.
Yeah, and that's what you got to be. And of course, with my kid around now, it's like, no, we got to put the tablet on. Can't watch all the and the Your Honor's not going to be good for her while she's around.
Every word to Baby Shark. I promise you that.
Yeah, she
also,
sings it
I'm going to write the follow up to Baby Shark, and it's going to make some more records. I'll tell you that much.
You're going to get compensated very well when you do that, because that has become a popular tune out there. And of course, I mean, look, it's not the most appropriate thing, but hey, Breaking Bad with Bryan Cranston was they did so well out there too. Did you get to catch some of that?
It's so intense.
Mm-hmm. It was.
There's in Westworld, couldn't watch it. Too realistic. Can't handle robot people. Just too much for my brain.
Oh, the other one I got into, and I haven't seen the third episode, but this The Last of Us on Max, HBO Max, which is that apocalyptic kind of thing that's going on with the worlds of the zombies and things like. So I'm kind of the third episode. The first two have been fantastic. It had both actors from the Game of Thrones. Can't remember the exact names, but the guy and the girl who's
apocalyptic stuff kind of hits a little too close to home. So I just I steer clear, keep it all the things that leave my dreams kind of like in slumberland.
Well, I got to ask you this, because last good glass of wine you had?
Ooh, it was a glass of Silver Oak.
Okay. All right. See, I always liked it because I know you're a wine drinker. Love that too. And
I don't really discriminate.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sure. No, you don't. I love one of the things I loved about you, because I love the outdoors and I loved Montana. I finally took your word, went up there just a few years back, and just, man, I see why you live there, no doubt. It's fantastic, beautiful countryside. I call it God's country because I did that and went into Canada too. I still got to take you up on that offer. When I get up there, I got to holler at you because we've got to go horseback riding. Have you done that lately?
Well, it's a little too cold right now.
Too cold? Okay.
I flew home to Montana yesterday and it was 22 below.
Oof.
So my horse would, if my horse had fingers, it would flip me off for trying to ride this weather. It would be so mad at me. But I'll probably try to get some riding in while I'm here in an indoor arena, so he is not mad about it. But it's pretty chilly. I will say this. So this was amazing this morning. I looked out the window. I felt eyeballs, and I'm like, and I was here by myself. My husband had already left, and I look out and there's like hundreds of elk just crossing right in front of my eyes. And it's just, Montana is just such a spectacular place. It takes my breath away every day. Like right now, the sun's getting ready to find its way down and it's just stunning.
Yeah, I did some fly fishing up there, did some whitewater rafting. Bozeman I loved it. It was just beautiful. The town I went through and a little pocket of Idaho. We did Yellowstone. It was just a whole list. I loved everything about that. That's why people ask you, what's your favorite part of the country? West Coast. You don't have to ask me twice, because I'm going to tell you, it's Arizona, Nevada, up into Colorado and Idaho, and all the way up through their pockets of Yellowstone, which I love. I love so much out there. And definitely God's country as you go up the Rockies and into Canada up there. Folks, if you've never traveled, go out there. And of course, if you want to be a travel sponsor, contact me and we'll definitely get your company on for travel out to Montana too, and how people can book through you if you want to be a travel sponsor here on the Backstage Pass. Last favorite food you had a craving for, what was it?
Oh my gosh, pizza.
Okay.
But here's what I sidetracked to a cheeseburger. Those are pretty much my two. A cheeseburger and fries is like, that's, but pizza, I mean, the thing is I can't just have one slice and I'll never order one slice. So I will eat an entire pizza alone and then I won't really feel bad about it. And that's also a problem. Like devour an entire large pizza is not really a smart health choice. So I think a cheeseburger is the safer of the two in the case of I will eat it in entirety.
Yeah, I love that. Sherry says I had that for lunch. Wendy's, laugh out loud. There you go. So she's they got some good burgers out there, and on my cheat days, I like to. I'm like, you had pizza the other night too. It was one of those things that just anytime it's on my table, it will get eaten. And I'm a sucker for Italian food too, and I can't wait to get up there with you and. Let's. I'm gonna take you up with an offer. Let's ride horses. I'm up there. I'm gonna holler at you.
And we'll have pizza.
We'll have pizza. I like that.
Because then that way, if we're sharing the pizza, then I won't eat the entire pizza. And there's a great place super close that has amazing pizza.
Love to do that because
I'm such a food. I love food. I love food a lot.
I do too. It's like I said, we're built to eat and built to do that, and it's where our bodies work. And hey, it's I know it's a lot of it's bad for you, but hey, we're built to keep it going, especially with the busy schedules we have. I'm big on caffeine. I shouldn't say that, but it's
love my coffee, love my 90-10. I do the 90-10 rule. Like 90% of the time, I'll do better, and then 10% of the time, I'm like, you know what? Life is precious. And if it's sharing a great glass of something with a dear friend or a great meal, that's why I do push-ups.
Yeah, that's why I go to the weight room. Even I tell you, that's why we do what we do when it comes to working out, push-ups, things like that. And I'll tell you this, speaking of good drinks, I got to get you some of that Gentle Ben. The vodka gin, the bourbon is fantastic. It is made out of Alvin, Texas down here. It's the Prosecco process. They're changing the way liquor is made now. It's as smooth as you could be, and I got to get you to try some of this gentleben.com. It's got great vodka, great gin, great bourbon. They're removing all the nasty stuff, all the impurities and stuff out there too to make their drink as successful as it is. And man, it is I got my bourbon in the other day.
Yeah.
Enough said right there. I just speechless. Tastes great, and I love it. We love to drink here.
I understand. And if you want me to try some things, I wouldn't be mad about it.
I can arrange for that to happen. If you're planning on being there at CRS, we're going to have hopefully some samples of it there with us, which will be great. If you're planning on being in Nashville during that time, love her music, love her as an artist, love her as a person. She's fantastic. The music is fantastic. Guys, keep the comments coming. We'll answer as many as we can. Off the air, On the Edge is the current EP out there across all the digital platforms, and definitely be on the lookout. StephanieQuayle.com for all the shows out there. My friend, always appreciate you. Looking forward, hopefully, to catching you in March there in Nashville. CRS, come on by and see us. So look forward to getting to Montana when it gets a little warmer, and always appreciate you coming by here and sharing your brand new music.
Oh, thank you so much for having me and sharing my music with everybody. It means the world to me, and for really appreciating what us artists and songwriters and musicians, knowing it from all sides, it means a lot.
Well, you're a class act, no doubt about it. Like I said, the music speaks for itself, and she's on her way up to the top. And like I said, the sky's the limit out there too when it comes to one of the rising country artists out there in the industry too as well. Tomorrow, Kinsey Coppin will stop by. Next week, Dylan Carmichael, Chris Weaver, Jacob Bryant. It's a big week here on the Backstage Pass. You guys be sure and thank our sponsors out there, Bangtail Whiskey, Gentle Ben Spirits, and, of course, our friends at Honky Tonk, Texas. Josh Ward coming out there this week. If you've never heard of Josh Ward, you might want to go look that up because that's another one who's a Texas artist who's killing it down here. And just like Stephanie made his Grand Ole Opry debut last year in 2022. We'll see you tomorrow about 4:30 with Kinsey Coppin here on the Backstage Pass. Until then, drink responsibly and have a great night. We'll see you soon. Take care.